So, children, today we will revise our chapter from trade to territory. Fine. In this chapter, the motto of the chapter is this lesson through light on how India gradually went into the hands of the East India Company. The various methods used by East India Company are highlighted. The methods or the tricks they played with we Indians, है ना? As we all know very well that Britishers came India as traders, है ना? They came here as a textile traders, कपड़े की बिजनेस करने के लिए वो यहाँ पे आए थे. Then after how trade converted into battle and how they started in capturing the parts of India and ruling over there. Suddenly, step by step, in a course of time, whole India was captured by British. For this, they adopted lot many tricks. Okay, in this chapter, we are trying to get some tricks about that. So, first of all, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about East India Company comes east. ठीक है, mercantilism, Europeans attack to India, Jahangir, rule of Jahangir, East India Company at Bengal, the Battle of Plassey 1757, the Battle of Buxar 1764, Carnatic Wars, First Carnatic War 1746 to 1748, Second Carnatic War 1749 to 1754, Third Carnatic War 1757 to 1763, and Anglo-Carnatic Wars. Dual Administration 1765 to 1772, Anglo-Maratha Conflict 1775 to 1818. Then Anglo-Mysore War about Tipu Sultan, Doctrine of Lapse, Subsidiary Alliance, Direct Annexation, British administration recognized by Cornwallis, estimate Cornwallis. So, in this chapter, these much points we are going to discuss here. Fine. Okay. So, let's start. East India Company comes east. East India Company comes east. In 1600, royal character. In 1600, royal character granted to East India Company, granting the sole right to trade with the East. East India Company bought goods at cheap price and sold them at the higher price in Europe. Cotton and silk produce in India had a big market in Europe. It's not paper, it's pepper, clove, cardamom, and cinnamon were the great demand, means Indian spices. East India Company and its officials accumulated wealth by the trade of India and caught attention of other European powers. English East India Company had a compare with other European companies such as French, Dutch and Portuguese. Because of powerful naval forces, British won over other European powers and became the champion of struggle from monotony of trade. Clear? The English East India Company was granted the right to trade exclusively in the East through the charter issued by Queen Elizabeth in 1600. Okay, now we will learn what is mercantilism. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the European rulers started protecting their country's trade from foreign competition to increase trade profits. These policies is known as mercantilism. Note it down, children. In the 17th and 18th century, the European rulers started protecting their country's trade from foreign competition and increased trade profits. This policy is known as mercantilism. Actually, mercantilism means business enterprises that mainly makes profit by buying goods at a cheap rate and selling them at a higher rate. As Britishers always do, they purchase raw materials from India in a very cheap rate and they supposed to sell it in their European countries in a very high rate with a very good profit. The European rulers sought for colonies where raw materials could be bought cheap and finished products could be sold at high price. As we all know, children, they means British supposed to purchase raw material from India in a very cheap price. They brought it again to Britain, converted into goods and again sell in a higher price in India. And routes to India in the 18th century, you can see here, this is India, these are the British island and this is the water route. That time no train was here. एरोप्लेन के बारे में तो हम सोच ही नहीं सकते थे, है ना. So this was the only route, water route, जहां से वो आते थे. ठीक है. And this is the place from where they entered in India. Fine. और उनका जो बिजनेस होता था, इस रूट में पड़ने वाले जितने भी कंट्रीज हैं उनके साथ वो ट्रेड करते थे. इज इट क्लियर चिल्ड्रन? दिस इज सी पोर्ट. दिस इज एन इमेज ऑफ अ सी पोर्ट. लुक एट हियर, लोकल बोट्स ब्रिंग गुड्स फ्रॉम शिप इन मद्रास, पेंटेड बाय विलियम सिम्पसन 1869. दिस इज सी पोर्ट. Jahangir. Now, just we discuss about the Jahangir. Who was Jahangir? In 16, who was Jahangir, children? Who was Jahangir? Yes, Pulkit. Hardik. Yes, Hardik.
वो बाबर का वंशज.
ऐसे बोलोगे? Wrong answer. Who will tell me the right answer? All we know, they are the Mughal emperors. So, yes, Lakshya Jain is saying right answer, son of Akbar. Jahangir was son of Akbar. In our Indian history, in our Indian Bollywood film history, he is also known as Salim. है ना? Fine. So, Jahangir, he was a Mughal ruler. In 1612, Jahangir issued a farmer to the English and a farman. Farman means, what's the meaning of farman? Government order. Farman is an Arabic word. In English, it is known as government order. Okay, who is talking there? Please mute yourself. Mute. Next time I am not going to unmute you. Yes, royal edict is also right answer. Fine. So, in 1612, Jahangir issued a farman to the English and they established trading factory at Surat in 1613. Children, please note down all the years because 40 marks of objective would be there. Anything could be asked as a, if it is on form of MCQ, it is a bit easier to do. But for fill-ups, for true false, it may be tough. है ना? So आप लोग को पूरा जो ईयर है वो बहुत अच्छे से याद होना चाहिए. In 1612, Jahangir issued a farman to the English. I'm sorry. And they established a trading factory at Surat in 1613. Sir Thomas Roe came India as an ambassador of James I, the King of England, to the Mughal court in 1615. Sir Thomas Roe came at the court of Jahangir as ambassador. Whose ambassador? James I. In which year? 1615. Four questions are there. Sir Thomas Roe was the English person who came India as an ambassador first. Second, in whose court? In Jahangir's court. Whose ambassador? Of James I. In which year? In 1615. Look at here. From one statement we can make four questions. Now you can see images of Jahangir and Sir Thomas Roe. He obtained permission from Jahangir to establish English trading factories in different parts of India, and they established their factories at Agra, Ahmedabad, Baroda and Bharuch by 1619. The English developed markets in Europe for a variety of Indian produce, and consumer economy prospered in Britain. East India Company at Bengal. In 1690, Aurangzeb's Farman had granted the English the right to duty-free trade. Look at here, duty-free trade मतलब custom duty जो लगती थी custom charges उसे भी free कर दिया. Trade in Bengal for an annual payment of rupees 3,000. That time it was a huge amount. See the image of Aurangzeb. The right to trade by Aurangzeb was abused by British. These free trade passes were sold to Indian favorites. In 1756, the company, in order to deter the French attack, began to fortify Calcutta. Now, when we talk about the Calcutta, means Bengal. Siraj-ud-Daulah, who was the Nawab in 1756 at Bengal. ठीक है, Siraj-ud-Daulah. Now we are turning ahead. In 1651, look at children, listen carefully. In 1651, the first English factory was set up on the bank of river Hooghly, and first English factory was opened up at Surat in 1608. Aurangzeb issued a farman granting the company the right to trade duty-free. The company tried to press for more concession and manipulate existing privilege. Okay. For trading purpose, the passes were issued to company officials, but they misused these passes for private trade and accumulated wealth on the name of company. Company matlab British East India Company. Soon, because of private trade company suffered and went into loss. To cure this anomaly, British government made strict rules. ठीक है? And just because of these rules, they turned where? Battle. In next slide, we will see. This is the image of Siraj-ud-Daulah, who was the Nawab of Bengal that time. The dual system which was introduced by Robert Clive, underline here, note it down. Dual system which was introduced by Robert Clive was abolished by Warren Hastings, and Bengal completely came under direct control of company administration. Image of Robert Clive. Lord Hastings. Now, this is given in your NCERT book. gradual expansion of British Empire from 18th century to mid 19th century. It is given in your book. Okay, see the images. The yellow part, okay, from the beginning this yellow part is British territory, again annexed under British rule. Now see the condition up to the mid 19th century. Most of part is yellow. This yellow part is showing the territory annexed by the British. Fine. When the British made some strict rules, what did happen? Trade turned into battle. है ना? जब ब्रिटिश ने बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट रूल बनाना शुरू कर दिया तो ट्रेड क्या होना शुरू हो गया? बैटल में कन्वर्ट होना शुरू हो गया. आई एम स्टार्टिंग दिस वन पुलकित, अभी तक स्टार्ट नहीं किया है. ठीक है. नाउ बैटल ऑफ प्लासी, द फर्स्ट बैटल बिटवीन मुगल एंड ब्रिटिश. The year was 1756. In 1756, the company, in order to deter the French attack, began to fortify Calcutta. Sirajuddaulah became the Nawab of Bengal. He marched to Calcutta and defeated the English. Who? Sirajuddaulah. The defeat of the English at the hands of Sirajuddaulah triggered the British to conspire to replace the young Nawab. The company officials led by Robert Clive. Look at here. First name we read about was Sirajuddaulah. Yes. The first name we read about was Sirajuddaulah. Fine. Now, second name we are reading about Robert Clive. Clear, children? पहले Sirajuddaulah was the Nawab who crossed the British and thrown from the fort of Calcutta. Clear? But this was not digestible to the Robert Clive, for Robert Clive. Fine. Now Robert Clive, listen it as a story. Robert Clive played a trick. Clear? रॉबर्ट क्लाइव ने क्या कर दिया? एक ट्रिक प्ले किया. उसने सबसे पहले क्या किया? The first thing he did was the chief army person of who? Sirajuddaulah. Sirajuddaulah के सेनापति जो थे, है ना? He was मीर जाफर. ठीक है. एक प्लान बनाया सिराजुद्दौला. देखो, just I told you Mir Zafar, he is Sirajuddaulah, he is Mir Zafar. Mir Zafar was the chief army officer of Sirajuddaulah. सिराजुद्दौला को जो सेनापति था उससे मिला. कौन मिला? कौन मिला? रॉबर्ट क्लाइव. ओके, रॉबर्ट क्लाइव. एंड रॉबर्ट क्लाइव played a trick कि if you will help me out to crush the Sirajuddaulah, I will make you Nawab of the Bengal. Fine. Robert Clive told to Mir Zafar that if you will help me to crush out to whom? To Sirajuddaulah, I will make you Nawab. Got it? First name we read about Sirajuddaulah. Second, Robert Clive. Third, Mir Zafar. Is it clear? Up to here all the things are clear, children? Listen it as a story, है ना? Now what happened? कि Robert Clive means to become a Nawab. Robert Clive, what he did? He agreed to help out whom? Robert Clive. These resulted in the Battle of Plassey in 1757, in which the Nawab was defeated and put to death. Who was the Nawab that time? Sirajuddaulah. है ना? Sirajuddaulah, Robert Clive. Means the battle was between Nawab Sirajuddaulah and Robert Clive. No doubt Robert Clive won the battle with the help of a very dishonest army chief, Mir Zafar. इंडियन हिस्ट्री में सबसे बड़ा धोखेबाज के नाम से मीर जाफर जाना जाता है. Mir Jafar was appointed as the new puppet Nawab. Now underline this word, puppet Nawab. What Mir Jafar was thinking that time? Ki I would be the Nawab of Bengal. Means it was a big thing. मैं तो बंगाल का राजा बन जाऊंगा. But he was not thinking about that. कि with the help of Englishman, Britishman, है ना? With the help of English person. So when he became, no doubt he became the Nawab, but he became a puppet Nawab. All the parts, all the control was in the hand of British only. Got it, children? वो सिर्फ सारे कुछ क्या हो गया था, ब्रिटिश के हाथ में था. एंड ही बिकेम अ पपेट नवाब. जो ब्रिटिश बोलते थे वो करना पड़ेगा. नाउ क्या होता है, हाथ मलते रह गया, है ना. सिराजुद्दौला, सॉरी, मीर जाफर क्या हो गया, हाथ मलते रह गया. उसको लगा था कि मैं भी सिराजुद्दौला की तरह पावरफुल नवाब बनूंगा. फाइन. पावर रिमेन इन द हैंड ऑफ ब्रिटिश. इज इट क्लियर अप टू हियर? Is there any doubt to anyone? Please don't ask me word meaning, because all the things, what words I am telling are very... Okay, all clear. Thank you. Now let's go ahead. That is the Battle of Buxar 1764. Battle of Buxar 1764. Okay, thank you, Chaitanya. Now what we learned, कि Mir Jafar was not satisfied, not happy to become a Nawab. So second battle was about to do, है ना. After the defeat at Plassey, Sirajuddaulah was assassinated and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab. Mir Jafar was just a puppet in the hand of Britishers. In 1764, the Battle of Buxar was fought between Britishers and Mir Qasim. Now, who was Mir Qasim? Mir Qasim was again the chief military officer, army officer of Mir Jafar, and he was denied the privileges given by the Britishers. He was not happy with British rule. Mir Qasim abolished the trade duty for everyone and transferred his capital from Murshidabad to Munger. But this was against the instinct of British and they declared war. Robert Clive, Mir Qasim, है ना. ब्रिटिश को ये बात पसंद नहीं आई और उन्होंने क्या कर दिया, अगेन एक बैटल कर दिया. दिस बैटल वाज नोन एज बैटल ऑफ बक्सर. इन दिस बैटल मीर कासिम, द नवाब ऑफ बंगाल, सिराजुद्दौला, द नवाब ऑफ अवध, and the Shah Alam, the Mughal king, fought against British, and the British forces were led by Hector Munro. Munro system हमने पढ़ा है ना, Hector Munro. Clear? Or again this battle was won by British. Is it clear? Children, is it clear to all? मत बोलो जाओ. Now, after the battle of Buxar, okay, after the battle of Buxar, what did happen? Ki now they Robert Clive thought कि now we are not able to handle these puppet nawabs. We are not able to handle these puppet nawabs. So they declared, they means who? British declared themselves as nawab. खुद को नवाब बना लिया उसने. ठीक है. Now who was the Nawab of Bengal? Robert Clive. And Robert Clive was a corrupt person, as we all know. He gained a lot of money. लॉट ऑफ मनी, जिसके पीछे उसके ऊपर इंस्पेक्शन भी हुआ है ना, जिसके लिए उसके ऊपर व्हाट हैपेंड, इंस्पेक्शन. क्यों इंस्पेक्शन हुआ? कि दिस टाइम सडनली रॉबर्ट क्लाइव बहुत वेल्दी पर्सन बन गया, बिकेम अ वेल्दी पर्सन, ठीक है, एंड ही अपॉइंटेड हिमसेल्फ एज अ गवर्नर ऑफ बंगाल. In 1764, Robert Clive declared himself as a governor of Bengal. Nabobs, नवाब को इंग्लिश में they supposed to pronounce it nabobs, ठीक है. और now they took all the powers in their hand. Who took the powers? Company. Clear, children? Company took all the powers in their hand. The process of annexation of Indian state by the East India Company from 1757 to 1857. It means for how many years? For 100 years, they were what? Annexing India. धीरे they were means expanding their territories. There means Indian territories को they started capturing through playing tricks. Fine. So this is the short story of British, है ना. Here we can see before going ahead of Carnatic one, I would like to explain about the Robert Clive. Robert Clive suddenly became too wealthy, so that's why उसके ऊपर क्या हुआ था, इंस्पेक्शन हुआ था, and in inspection he found guilt. That's why he committed suicide. Who? Robert Clive. Is it clear, children? Now company started expanding 1757 to 1857. The process of annexation of India state by the East India Company from 1757 to 1857 brought from the key aspect like the company rarely launched a directly military attack on as known as territory, unknown territory. After Battle of Buxar, the company appointed resident in Indian states. The company forced the state into subsidiary alliance. Now subsidiary alliance. What is subsidiary alliance? And the king had to put an army of British. I will again come to the point what is, let me tell few points, then after I will tell you what is subsidiary alliance. In the case of non-payment to army, the Nawab or the king had to give some part of its territory. The Nawab of Awadh and the Nizam of Hyderabad were forced to pay territories and accept the subsidiary alliance. Got it, children? Now tell me what is subsidiary alliance. Because we are revising the chapter, you should know what is subsidiary alliance. Fast, we have only 3 minutes. What is subsidiary alliance? वो तो आप बोलेंगे रजत अब. Subsidiary alliance, according to subsidiary alliance, none of Indian, listen me carefully, none of Indian ruler had right to keep their own army. According to subsidiary alliance, none of Indian ruler had right to keep no right to keep their own army. Instead of this, British supposed to protect them. And for protection, Indian ruler had to pay to the British army. If अगर इंडियन रूलर फेल हो जाते थे पे करने के लिए, तो दे हैव टू गिव सम पार्ट ऑफ टेरिटरी टू द ब्रिटिश. Got it? This is known as subsidiary alliance. So many times I told in the class. Then after you people are not bothered at all. Is it clear, Rajat? Subsidiary alliance is clear now? At least say yes or no. Fine, don't tell. Okay. So this was subsidiary alliance. Tomorrow Please read at least the notes which I gave you, your NCERT book. तब आपको ये चैप्टर बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर होगा, बहुत अच्छे से समझ आएगा. All is in the form of story. Fine, children. So tomorrow we will continue the class. Till then, stay safe, stay home. God bless you.